Mess it up, talking man. I'm gonna push me away. That's it. Okay, so there. What's up, Wild? How you doing? Not bad. I wanted to start the stream earlier, but the bed kidnapped me. Speaking about kidnapped by the Mafia, I was kidnapped by the bed. So I'm like, I need to get up. I want to get up, but the bed has me. I'm like, what do I do? Okay, so let's start the story. As long as at least one person's here, and I've waited a few minutes or whatever, then that's okay. Yes, I'm finally. Yes! I'm sorry, Nova. I was gonna do it earlier. I told Lisa I'm trying to do for 8 p.m., but the bed had me hostage. Okay, so if you guys want to follow along, we are on chapter 16 right now. You guys can follow along there. Just a recap. So there's this girl, her and her best friend. This girl is 21. Her best friend, I think, is 18. They went to a party. The 21-year-old gets kidnapped by a bunch of, like, quote-unquote hot guys, I guess. And then they get taken to some room. And those guys think that they kidnapped someone that they were supposed to, but they don't know that it wasn't the right girl. And then over time, she starts flirting with them. And there might be an orgy today. Okay. So that's you guys are caught up. Okay. Chapter 16. I'm hungry, I tell Tom. He nods. Let's go inside. I'll make us something, he says, standing up. He puts his hand out. I grab it and pull myself off the ground. We stare at one another, my hand still in his. He clears his throat and lets go of my hand and walks off back to the house. I sit at the kitchen table watching him cook. Where did you learn to cook? I ask, him hoping I'm not getting too personal. My mother taught me, he says with a hint of a smile. She probably was one of the best cooks around, I thought, and still do. She died a couple years ago. I try not to show too much emotions at him actually opening up to me. So you've raised Joshua basically, I say. Yes, he says with a clenched jaw, but I don't think he's irritated at me asking. He's a sweet kid, I tell him. You were the same age, kid. I think I see a hint of smile, but I forgot that I'm Caroline for a second. Oh yeah, I forgot, old man. I try to play it off. I'm not old, he smirks. I think I see a gray hair. I see him freeze for a second, scared that there actually was one. You see, the grammar in the spelling mistakes is like, ugh. I laugh. Not funny, he smirks at me. Okay, already, he says, handing me a plate of pasta. He sits across me. Thank you, I say. He nods. I take a bite and then moan from how delicious it is. I see him look at me with lust. Sorry, it is so good, I tell him. Thank you, he says, clearing his throat. You're going to have to give me this recipe, I tell him. I'm so hungry, I hear Cody say, as he and the rest of them walk through the door. I'll go get Caroline, Joshua says. I'm in here, I call out. The guys walk in and they look confused as to why I'm out of my room and hanging out with Tom. What's going on here? Michael asks. We're having dinner. There's more if you're hungry, I tell them, trying to act like it's no big deal for Tom. I wouldn't want him to get a reputation as being a nice guy. They're still standing there staring at me and Tom. Are you going to stare at us or are you going to eat something? I tell them. They look at Tom. You heard her, Tom says. Oh my God, I just got secondhand embarrassment. What the hell? Over. Chapter 17. Enough is enough. I'm tired of not knowing what's going on. I sneak off when everyone's watching a movie and go check out the house to see if I can find anything that will tell me what's going on. I start opening doors. First one is Joshua's room. I know because of the pictures of him and Tom when they were a little younger. It's actually a cute picture. The room is pretty tidy. The author spelled it like titty. Oh my God, Hobo would be so happy. Tidy's T-I-D-Y, not T-I-D-D-Y. Titty is different than tidy. Frick! I go into the next room, which I'm guessing is Cody's room. It's not as clean as Tom and Joshua's room. I look over to see a couple of pictures of him and his family when he was younger. Next room is differently. Michael's, it's a mess. It looks like the room exploded. I try not to trip over things on the floor. I see a stack of Playboy magazine. I roll my eyes. Nice, Michael. I go back to Tom's room, and it's so boring. There is nothing personal or anything useful in here. He's definitely not keeping anything important in here. Next is No Name Guy. He has a knife collection, figures, beside all the weapons and leather jackets. There's nothing in here either. Every day that I've been here, I've tried to look in a new room every day. What the hell? There's 2 every days in this sentence. I try to open another door, but it won't budge. I go grab a knife in the kitchen. I use it to open the door. It's an office. Jackpot, I say to myself. I use a knife to open the drawers because they're locked too. Most of the stuff is bills and receipts. Nothing exciting. But in the last drawer, I find a file that has all the information about the Morgenstones. It reads, Elizabeth Morgenstone, died January of 2015. Husband, Keith Morgenstone. Children, Caroline and Jeffrey Morgenstone. Keith Morgenstone, widow. Children, Caroline and Jeffrey Morgenstone. Occupation, mayor. Assistant, Monica Green. Home address, 1234 Collar Way. Office address, 1789 Main Street. Works between 8 and 6 p.m. Upcoming meeting on the 28th and 2nd. Caroline Morgenstone, 18 years old, homeschooled, no boyfriend, never been romantically involved. Takes etiquette classes every day of the week. Blue eyes, blonde hair. Favorite flower, daisies. Hobbies, baking and reading. Traits, snobby, dramatic, over-emotional. That's the one that was supposed to be kidnapped, Caroline. But her friend got kidnapped, so yeah. Jeffrey Morgenstone, 8 years old. Sister, Caroline Morgenstone. Father, Keith Morganstone. Like Legos, superheroes, and cars. There's just pages and pages of information about them. It's super creepy. There's even information on the staff and Monica and every single detail about all the bodyguards. But nothing about why they want Caroline. I wonder how they know nothing about me or that I'm living with them. I feel someone looking at me. I've been caught. Stupid Sam, you know to always watch your surroundings. I look up to see the one person who I was scared the most that would catch me. Tom! I was looking for some paper and a pencil. I smile, hoping he'll buy it. But of course he doesn't. So you broke down the door and broke into the drawer, he says, walking towards me, to get a piece of paper? He stands super close to me and stares at me. Then he puts his hand on my back. What are you doing? I ask nervously. He trails his hand down my back to my ass, and then to my back pocket and grabs a knife out of my back pocket. It says something here I won't say. I'll say it like this. Crap! He then grabs a folder out of my hands. I told you not to do anything stupid, he glares. I can tell he's trying to not get worked up. Oh, I'm sorry. How dare me invade your private stuff that's about me and my family that you kidnapped me from, I say, getting in his face. He looks a loss for words. This is the most I've gotten mad since I've been here, and I'm not even on level 2 yet. He grabs my arm and pulls me out of the room. He locks the door again and pulls me to my room. He doesn't say anything. What's going on? Cody says as we pass him. Go back to the living room, Tom orders him. I look at Cody. I can tell he wants to help me but knows his orders. I give him a small smile to make him feel better. He jerks me upstairs and opens my door, pushing me inside. We stare at one another, both fuming mad. And that's not good when I'm mad because I do stupid things like this. I look at him one more time and slap him hard, leaving an imprint on his face. His face turned from fuming mad to shocked that I actually slapped him. You just slapped me, he says, stating the obvious. Yes, I did, I tell him smugly. It almost looks like he wants to laugh, but then he stops himself and stones his face. You're staying in here for the rest of the night, he says. Walking out of the door, I hear him lock it. Good! I scream. Chapter 18. I walk over to the vent in my room and put my ear up to it, trying to listen to them talk. I could barely hear. What happened? I think Cody said. She broke into the office and got into the desk, Tom tells them. How? Joshua asks. With a knife. Clever girl. She probably saw it on some TV show, Michael says. I try not to laugh because I don't watch TV. Did she see anything? Someone asks. No, I don't think so. Just some papers about her family, Tom answers. Is she freaked out? I think they moved rooms because I can't hear anything anymore. And just so they know, of course I'm freaked out. They know every single detail about Caroline, like her favorite food, to her goldfish name when she was 2. And they have information about Keith, Jeffrey, Monica, and everyone that works in the house. But what I can't understand is how come they didn't know that I was living with them. I know I haven't lived there long, but if they have all that useless information, then how come they don't even know my name? The next morning, I hear a knock on my door. Morning, I hear Joshua say through the door. Are you ready to come to eat? I'm not hungry, I tell him as I lay in bed. Well, do you want to come out and watch TV or something? He suggests. No, I'm fine. Oh, okay, he says confused. I hear him walk off. I don't feel like myself today. I just want to stay in bed and mope. I always have a plan and a backup plan. I never ever get caught. I don't let people boss me around anymore or take orders. I feel like I'm back in my old life, but not as bad at least. An hour later, I hear another knock at the door. Hey, it's Cody. Do you want to play some video games? He asks me. No, thank you, I'm fine, I tell him. About 45 minutes later, I hear another knock. It's Mickey. Let's go outside or something, Michael says. It's supposed to be Mikey, not Mickey. I'm fine, I say once again. You can tell they don't know how to handle a hostage. A few hours later, I hear pounding at the door. What? I yell, knowing who it is. Get your ass up and come downstairs now, I hear Tom yell. No, thank you, I tell Tom. It gets quiet. Maybe he left. I hear the door unlock and Tom walks in. I pull the covers over my face. Get out of bed, he orders me. No, I might be a hostage, but you can't tell me what to do, I say, but muffled because of the cover. Yes, I can, he says. I stick my hand out of the covers and flip him off. That's it. I gave you a choice. All of a sudden, he rips the covers off me. What the hell? I glare at him. He picks me up bridal style and carries me out the door. You can't do this to me. I try to get out of his arms, but it's useless. We pass the guys, who look shocked. Help someone, I say, but they look like they're trying not to laugh. You guys are useless, I mutter. Tom carries me outside. Are you going to put me down? I say, irritated. He just smirks. All of a sudden, he stops and looks at me with his side smile. What? I ask, confused. He drops me and I land in water. I didn't even know they had a pool. I come up for air and yell, I can't swim. Tom stops laughing. Grab my hand, he says, trying not to panic. I reach over trying to keep up this damsel in distress act. Yeah, I can swim, but the real Caroline can't. But no one knows because she always sticks to the shallow end. I grab his hand and pull him in. It catches him off guard and he falls straight into the pool. The rest of the guys are outside now and they all look shocked that I actually did that. I bust out laughing. Tom comes back and looks at me. Fooled ya, I laugh. Nice try. I give him a wink. He actually starts laughing. You're in so much trouble. He swims after me. I squeal. Cannonball! I hear Cody say, jumping into the pool. Then the rest jump in. Tom grabs me and spins me around, making me giggle. I turn around and face him, still giggling. He is actually smiling. You have a nice smile, I accidentally say out loud. Thank you. I see him blush a little bit. Caroline, He starts saying, but he gets interrupted when Joshua and Cody start splashing us. You're so dead, I tell them, trying not to laugh. After you, Tom says, before we both go after them. Woo, baby. Chapter 19. Oh, let me take a little bit of a break. A little eat, a little drink. So, in these chapters, I would be dead in her situation. Why? Those guys seem like they're so relaxed. They don't... She talks back and they don't even like... At worst, the guy throws her in the pool. Those guys are harmless at the moment anyways. Yeah, but she's doing something irrational by shouting back at Tom. Tom is like the leader of this group. So I would consider that irrational. The fact that she let her anger boil over and just spurted out some like crap to him. You know? Like I said, she knows it too. That these guys are not aggressive. They're not they're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not quote unquote bad guys that if she slips up, you walked into a story, there might be an orgy. But you're too young to hear that, so you might have to leave. I'm just taking a food break. But like the guys don't seem to be the tough guys they portray, which makes me be like, bro. But that's what I'm saying. She knows that. She knows that they're not like that. That's why I believe that not only she like backlashed at Tom, but she knows. she's in a way kind of playing them. Because, like I said, from chapters 1 to 15, she started to like kind of tease them a little. So she started to like, she knows this, so she felt more like quote unquote powerful, you know, using her sexuality, whatever, as a weapon against these guys. Yeah, they're not tough guys. They're literally like, yeah, they haven't shown one sign of like real aggression towards her. Not one sign of aggression. Okay, chapter 19. I've been in my room for a while. The guys went to go run some errands. I hear something downstairs. The guys are probably home. I then hear the door unlock. I look up and see the last person I would have ever guessed to come let me out of the room. No name guy. It's weird. I've been here for a while. I don't know his name or nothing about him. Hi? I say confused. Hello, Caroline, he says almost in a creepy way. Are the guys home? I ask him, growing nervous. Not yet, he says, walking over to me. I need you to come with me. Where? I gulp. Just downstairs, he shrugs like no big deal. I don't want to go anywhere with him, but I know I don't have a choice and hopefully the guys will be home soon. I stand up and follow him downstairs to the room Tom interrogated me in, so I know this isn't going to be good. He shuts the door and turns and faces me. Sit! In spite of my better judgment, I sit down. He handcuffs me to the table. Just in case, he smiles, but it makes me even more nervous. I'm going to ask you some questions, he tells me like we are friends. Yeah, okay, I nod. I'm Christopher, by the way. I know Tom interrogated you once, but we are going to do it my way. He stops smiling. I don't know anything, I promise, I tell him. He just nods, but I know he doesn't believe me, even though it's the truth. They've been too soft on you, treating you like you are a friend and making you think you're on vacation. He shakes his head. This is not going to end good. We almost kidnapped your little brother. He smiles at me, making me shiver with fear. But Tom is too soft. He didn't want to kidnap a child. He rolls his eyes. It's actually pretty easy to get all the information about your family. You really should hire better guards and employees. They were easy to buy off. They even made sure we can get into the party so we can kidnap you. You've been here too long and nothing been accomplished. So the head guy called me because he knows I'll deliver. He walks behind me. He grabs a handful of my hair and pulls it as hard as he can. You're going to talk today. He grabs my face hard, leaving bruises making me look at him. I don't know anything. I glare at him. He slaps my face as hard as he can. F you, a-hole. I spit blood at him. Now that's not how ladies talk, I guess. All those etiquette classes went to waste. He smirks at me, wiping the blood off his face. Your father is the mayor, and he pissed off a lot of bad people because he thinks he can say no to them, he growls. I don't know anything about what my father does, I say. That earns me another slap on the other side. My boss, he's just getting back in the game, and he came to your father and he turned him down, which was the wrong thing to do. My boss doesn't like your father. He thinks he's weak and doesn't deserve to run this city, and he thinks it's time he steps down. He did try to be civil about it, but your father is an idiot and turned him down. Tom and the rest of them don't know anything they got told, only what they need to know at the time. And the reason we kidnapped you, for one, is payback at your father. And second, there's a safe that my boss needs to get in. Even I don't know what's in there, but we need the code and we know you know it. Did you try a birthday? I say sarcastically. That earns me another hit. And then he pushes me to the ground and kicks me in my stomach. All of a sudden, the door busts open to reveal Tom fuming mad. He jerks Christopher off of me. He jerks Christopher off. Oh, God. He jerks Christopher off of me and punches him in the jaw. And then pushes Christopher to the wall, grabbing him by his shirt. Don't you ever touch her again, Tom tells Christopher, just laughs. Tom came by my side, I guess, and uncuffs my hand and picks me up and carries me out of the room. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit, dang, this simply for, yeah. I told you. She literally had those guys wrapped around her finger. Now this guy, Christopher, quote unquote no name guy, he's the real deal. He's kind of like the brains behind the operation, I guess. He's the quiet guy off to the side who's actually kind of running the show. Alright, this makes more sense. This is getting a little... But I still don't see comedy in this, but whatever. Chapter 20. My face looks pretty bruised and my ribs are bruised too. But I've been in worse fights, plus he hit like a biatch. Like a little biatch. But now I know how serious this situation really is. Tom gave me some medicine to put on my face and to help the pain. Caroline, I hear Joshua say coming into my room. I come out of the bathroom. He winces when he sees my face. It's not as bad as it looks, I tell him. You're one tough girl. He gives me a small smile. Thanks. Are you hungry? He asks. I nod. We go downstairs to the kitchen. I look at the table and see pancakes, eggs, bacon, toast, hash browns, and sausage. Michael pours me a cup of chocolate milk. Thank you, guys. I tell them and smile. I can tell they feel bad about yesterday, but I don't blame them for what happened. I can feel them staring at me while I eat. You guys, I'm okay, I remind them. We're sorry, Caroline, Cody apologizes. It wasn't any of your faults, I shrug. You won't be left alone at the house anymore. We'll at least have one person here at all time, Tom assures me. That's not necessary, I shake my head. Yes, it is. We'll make sure nothing like that happens again, Tom says. I nod, knowing I'm not going to win this fight. But I know they might have to hurt me again if their employer tells them to, but at least I know they won't enjoy it. I look over and notice in Joshua's pocket there's a cell phone. I need to get that cell phone somehow. After breakfast, Tom goes into his office and me and Joshua watch Michael and Cody play video games. I wonder why we never watch TV, just watch movies and play games. Hey Joshua, can you grab me a blanket, please? I ask him. Sure, he says, leaning over to grab it on the love seat. I grab his cell out of his pocket real quick. Here you go, he smiles. Thanks, I smile. I wrap myself in the blanket. I'll be right back, I say. Thankfully, they're not paying that much attention. I head upstairs and go to my room. I've checked every nook and cranny, and they didn't put any wires or cameras. I dial Monica's number. I'm so glad I remember all their numbers. Hello, she answers. Monica, it's me, Samantha, I say quickly. Samantha, are you okay? We all been so worried about you, she says, worried. I'm fine, but I need you to give Keith the phone and tell him to go into a room by himself, I tell her. Okay, she says, and then it goes quiet. Hello? Keith asks, confused. It's me, Samantha, I tell him. Samantha, oh my God, are you okay? What happened? I can tell he's been worried about me, which makes me smile. I don't have a lot of time. I know this is going to sound crazy, but someone kidnapped me. They thought I was Caroline, and whoever these people that kidnapped me work for wants to take you down, so they're in charge. I breathe out. I know who you're talking about. I've never met the man, just his people, and he's crazy. I'm so sorry, Samantha. Where are you? I'm going to come get you. No, I'm fine. Just keep Caroline and Jeffrey safe. Caroline and Jeffrey have been so worried about you. I thought you just ran away earlier than planned. But she said that you would have at least said goodbye, and she was right. Tell me what's going on over there, he says. I'm being held by 5 guys. Only one of them have physically hurt me. But I'm fine. They're actually been as nice as they can be, considering. But there's a mole in your inner circle, a guard or a maid or someone that is feeding this guy information, I tell him. I'll take care of it. How are you calling me? He asked me, a little confused. I stole one of their phones, but I need to know, do you own a safe? Yes, he says, slowly realizing something. Don't tell me anything about it, but that's what they want, heads up. The less I know, the better. What are you going to do? I can hear the worry in his voice. I'm going to continue to stay here. They still believe I'm Caroline. I don't want them to find out either for Caroline. I'll try to continue to gather information to help you. I try not to get emotional. Thank you, Samantha. We'll get you home soon, he says. Home. I have to go. But watch your back and take care of them, I say, and hang up. I delete any trace on his phone that proves I was on it. I open the door and walk back to the living room. Tom comes out of his office. Hey, I try to play cool. Hey, he says. I see him look at my bruised face, and that makes him clench his jaw in anger. I'm sorry, you weren't supposed to get hurt. I thought you said that it might come down to it if necessary, I remember him saying. I lied, he sighs. Don't worry, Christopher won't be back. Good, I nod. We walk into the living room. I sit next to Joshua, and Tom sits next to me. I put Joshua's phone on the couch cushions beside him. I don't think he noticed it was gone. So that's weird. We're on chapter 21, by the way, now. That's weird. That guy, supposedly he's running the show, Christopher, that no-name guy, he, asserted his dominance, and then all of a sudden they're like, those guys are like kind of protecting her, I guess, making sure that she doesn't get like physically abused again. But it seems like that other guy, Christopher, is like running the show. How could these guys tell this guy to go away, leave her alone, and all that? I don't know, man. I don't understand. Doesn't make sense to me. Chapter 21. I didn't grow up like Caroline or any other kid, but it's the only life I've known. My mother died when I was really young, so I've never had a woman influence my life. I've grown up surrounded by men, which is probably why I'm okay here. I bet my father wished he had a boy instead. My father and I always had a difficult relationship. I don't think he ever really loved me. I've really been on my own most of my life. The only person I've been able to ever been able to count on is me. I wish I grew up like Caroline. I wish I was Caroline in a way, but I'm not, and I'm okay with it now. I can't stay here forever though. I do need a plan, because when this is all over, I really doubt they're just gonna let me go. I know too much. I'm sure the boss man, whoever he is, will kill me or have Christopher do it. I don't honestly know if Tom could do it. He acts all mean, but I can tell he's a big softie. But I really need to know who this boss is. He seems crazy but powerful. I can tell he has a lot of connections. If we could just find where he's hiding, then this will all be over. But until then, I better make the best of the situation. Hello, boys. I greet them as I sit on the couch. They are all glued to the TV. Do you guys have a life, like one that's not doing anything illegal or anything? I ask. Of course we have a life, Michael says, not looking away from the TV. Outside of this house, I say, slowly trying not to laugh. Of course we do, Cody says. Do any of you actually have a girlfriend? I ask them. Everyone stays silent. I'm going to take that as a no. I chuckle. We do fine with the ladies, Michael says. I can't help but laugh. Why are you laughing? I'm sure you guys do. I continue laughing. What's that supposed to mean? Cody asks me suspiciously. Have you met yourselves? I raise an eyebrow. I'm actually seeing someone right now, Cody says smugly. Is she pretty? I ask. Yeah, she's hot. He shrugs, but I see he's trying not to smile. Since when have you started dating someone? Tom asks, surprised. Why are you surprised? Cody says back. You just never said anything. Joshua also surprised. You guys should talk to each other more often, I say. Have you ever even had a girlfriend, Joshua? He says, face getting red. No. There's a lot of girls in the Mafia. He nervously chuckles. Really? I didn't notice. I smirk. But you get one. You're a cutie. Cutie? Tom chuckles. What? I ask him. No guy wants to be called a cutie, he tells me. Guys call girls cute, I say. But it's different with guys, Cody says. I roll my eyes. Fine. Joshua, you're hot and manly. There. I say, boosting his male ego. Thank you, he says, blushing. Good one, Tom laughs. Thanks, cutie. I smirk. He glares. Do you have a boyfriend? Joshua asks me. I hear Tom laugh. What? I could have one, I say to Tom, even though I don't have one. Okay, you do. Okay, do you? He says, smirking. No. I roll my eyes. Have you ever had one? He asked me, but he knows Caroline never had one. I have, but I've never really had a serious relationship. But I have had I guess you can call them boyfriends. But Caroline hasn't ever had one. Well, I already know you don't have a girlfriend. I say, changing the subject to him. Why would you say that? He raises his eyebrow. Have you met you? I smirk. I find myself quite charming. He smirks back. Yeah, I'm not really getting charming. I think we should leave you two alone, Cody laughs, getting up. So much sexual tension. Michael smirks at us. Don't leave me, I say, but they still leave. Jerks. Can't trust yourself alone with me, Tom says, leaning towards me. Please, you're not even that good looking. Lie, lie, lie. Really? He raises an eyebrow, leaning towards me. Really? I challenge back. So if I kiss you right now, you wouldn't like it? He smirks his lips, so close to mine. Every single time you try to kiss me, I've turned you down, I tell him, trying to remain calm. You almost kissed me at the party, he says. I was drunk on champagne. I say. We still are making eye contact. He leans closer. I feel his lips barely touch mine. My eyes flutter, close. Then he pulls away. I open my eyes to see him smirking at me. See? He says smugly. I'll never kiss you first, though, I mutter. We will see, I hear him say. I'm telling you, they're going to do stuff. Now, but you said I can't take half the guys seriously. Exactly. They're all, yeah. So from how it looks like here, Tom seems to be like the alpha male amongst like the rest of the guys, excluding that guy that was physically like abusive to her, right? He seems to be like the alpha male. They seem to have a back and forth. These two. These guys are probably gonna have sex. It's not gonna be an orgy, but these guys will have sex. Or these guys will have sex, and then eventually the other ones will have a try because she's like working the room. Yeah, come on, man. I know how the story goes. Okay. Friggin' heck. Take a little sippy of water. What is this, a love script? I'm telling you. The way it was going in from chapter 1 of 15, I could have swore that there would be an orgy, but now I'm starting to like rethink this. 100% these guys hook up. 100%. The orgy thing, like I said, was where it was going, but now 100% they hook up. Okay. Chapter 22. I think I'm actually starting to like these guys, which is weird because they did kidnap me, but actually hasn't been that bad, which is weird to say. I think they like me, but I don't know though if it came down to it, would they do whatever the boss says, even if it means hurting me? I knock on Joshua's door. Hey, he says, opening the door smiling. Hey, can I come in? I made cookies, I say, holding a plate of chocolate chip cookies. Sure. I walk in and sit on the bed. What are you doing? I ask. Just reading. He shrugs, sitting next to me. Are you homeschooled? Yeah, I graduated early, he smiles. So this has been your life? I say, about being in the Mafia. Yeah, it's not as bad as you think, he says, taking the plate of cookies. At least you have Tom. I give him a small smile and he nods. Have you ever met his boss guy? This boss guy? Oh, now she's starting to get info. Now she's starting to work the room to get info on their boss. No, no one has, not even Tom. They only talk on the phone or texting, he tells me. Is he in the Mafia too, I ask? Yeah, all the gangs are scared of him, he tells me. So he just popped up out of nowhere? I ask him, confused. Not really. He's been in the business forever. He's kind of a legend, but then he disappeared, and then he came back stronger and scarier than ever, he shivers. Do you know anything else about him, I say? Just that he's a scary guy, and he doesn't like to be disappointed or to be told no. I heard that he has a son who is just as bad as him. There's even stories about him too. He seems like a badass, he says, as he eats one of the cookies. So he doesn't tell you guys anything? Sometimes he does, he shrugs. So he told you guys to just keep me for a while? Yeah, until he tells us to let you go, he says, still believing that he will just let me go so easily. Joshua reminds me of Caroline. So innocent. So is that who Tom is always talking and texting to? I ask him. Yeah, mostly, he shrugs. When's your birthday? I say randomly, hoping he doesn't think anything of it. May 5th, he shrugs, eating a cookie. I nod. Where's that Christopher guy at? He's probably crashing at someone's house or something. Don't worry, he won't hurt you again, he tells me, giving me a small smile. Thanks. I give him a small smile back, but it seems like him and the boss guy are kind of close. Yeah, because Christopher doesn't have any morals and will do anything he's told to no matter what. Joshua clenches his jaw. I nod, not saying anything else about it. Have another cookie. I smile sweetly. He smiles back. I do feel bad about manipulating this boy into giving me information, but I'm desperate. I knew all I needed to do was make him some cookies or something, and he would tell anything I wanted to know. Oh my god, I wish Lisa was here. I'm thinking these are like weed cookies, like edibles. The way she said is like all I have to do is give him cookies and and he tells him everything. They're definitely edibles. They literally don't keep secrets, it seems. Yeah. I'm telling you, they're the worst kidnappers in the history. Worst. Oh my god. Chapter 23. I go and take a shower. It helps me think. Maybe I should steal Tom's phone? Maybe, but he keeps it up his ass. So I don't know how I can get it. What the heck? Phone up. I could always seduce him, but I don't want to give him the satisfaction thinking I'm into him because I'm not. I mean, yes, he has a really nice body and a nice smile and pretty eyes. Shut up, Samantha. I'll get that phone somehow. Maybe that Christopher guy will show up. Even if I have to take a beating to get that phone, it'll be worth it. If I can get any information about the head boss dude. I get out of the shower and wrap a towel around me and open the door that leads to my room. To my surprise, Cody's sitting on my bed. Hello, I say confused. Hey, he says, checking me out. Up here, I say, pointing at my eyes. Oh, he's checking out her boobs. Sorry, can I ask you something? He says, a little nervous. As long as it's nothing sexual, then ask away. I tell him. He laughs. I sit next to him on the bed. I know I shouldn't be asking this because we did kidnap you and holding you against your will, but I can't really talk to the guys about this, and you're the only girl I know, and I get it if you don't want to help. And he says, rambling, Cody, what is it? I interrupt. The other day when we were talking, remember how I told you about how I was kind of seeing a girl? Yes. I start getting excited. Well, I really like her, but I'm not really good at talking to girls, he says nervously. You talk to me, fine, I tell him. Yeah, but it's different with you. You're like one of the guys, he laughs. Thanks, I say, not knowing if that's a compliment or not. Anyway, we've only hanged out a few times, but I really like her, and I don't want to screw it up. She likes to text, and I'm not really good at talking in general, so I was wondering if you could help me out. He smiles nervously. Yeah, of course, I tell him, laughing. He hands me his phone. Too bad this wasn't Tom's phone. Okay, she'll be in love with you in no time, I say as I start texting her. Thanks, you're the best. He nudges my shoulder. I looked at his past messages with her, and he's a boring texter. How's it going? He asks after 10 minutes. Great. She's so nice and funny. She has a 10-month-old puppy named Roger. He's a German Shepherd, and she's a Gemini. So remember her birthday next month? She loves to cook, I tell him. Wow, you got all that information in just 10 minutes? He says, amazed. I hear a knock at the door, but I don't bother looking up. I hear someone clear their throat. What's going on here? I hear Tom's voice like he's accusing us of something. I look up to see his arms folded and with the eyebrow raised. I can tell he's not happy with what he's seeing. And what he's seeing is me in only a towel on the bed with Cody and texting someone, so I get it. Hey, want to join us? I smirk. What the hell is going on here? He glares. Me and Cody look at each other. We realize we love each other and nothing's going to keep us apart, I say dramatically. It's not what it looks like, Cody says defensively. Then explain, he says, trying not to get mad. Oh, well, I needed girl advice, and she's helping me text a girl. She's really good, actually, Cody tells him quickly. And why is she naked? Tom asks him. I just shrug. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, Cody says, staring at me. Please, put some clothes on, Tom tells me. Wow, something wrong with you guys? I shake my head, telling girl to put her clothes on instead of off. I laugh. What's going on? I see Michael standing in the hallway staring at me. Why does she only have a towel on? Joshua says in awe. Out! Tom tells Cody, pointing at the door. Thanks again, Caroline. Cody tells me, getting up from the bed. No problem. Anytime. Also, she just sent you a dirty text. I thought I'd let you handle that. I tell him with a wink. He runs out of the run fast. What? He runs out of the room fast. What the frig? Michael and Joshua are still standing in the hallway. Tom shuts the door in their face. Can I help you? I ask him since he's still in my room. Keep your clothes on, he tells me. I'm in my room, I challenge him. You're so frustrating, he says, pulling his hair. Oh, and you're not? I say, standing up. Just put some clothes on. I don't want them to see you like that. What about you? Really, Sam? Just shut up. Why would I care if he wants to see me without clothes on? He looks speechless, but I can see his eyes roaming my body. Good night, I say, trying not to blush. Good night, he clears his throat and walks out the room, locking the door for the night. Man, this girl, I can't tell you how many times she's been like quote-unquote naked, like under a towel. Like, this story's just getting everyone riled up. It's just there. Man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Okay, chapter 24. I quickly put some clothes on and go over to the vent to listen. I usually do this once or twice a day just to see if they say anything good, and so far nothing. So Cody, you and Caroline? I hear Michael say, no, she was just helping me out with something, Cody says. Naked? Michael laughs. I had a towel on. Nothing happened between them, so drop it, I hear Tom's voice. Does someone have a crush on the girl? Cody snickers. I could just feel Tom's glare. Aw, is little Tom growing soft? Michael says, laughing. Shut up, Michael, if you want to live. If one of you says one more word, I will. I hear Tom start saying. Why do they leave the room when it starts getting good? But I try not to laugh at the thought of Tom having a crush on me. How do they not see that he can barely stand me? And I definitely do not like him like that. I need to get Tom's phone. There may not be anything useful on it, but I need to know, but it won't be easy. Tom has his phone up his ass 24/7, and Tom's not easy to manipulate. So what are you guys doing today? I ask them as we eat breakfast together. I have a date today, Cody smirks. Nice, I wink. Are you guys working today? I ask them. Nope. Joshua shakes his head. I nod. Today's the day that I get that phone. Think, Sam, think. This used to be a whole lot easier. I've grown rusty. Me, Michael, and Joshua sit in the living room and watch TV. Cody left for his date and Tom's in his office. I'm getting hungry, I say out loud. We can order pizza, Joshua suggests. No, can we just cook something? I say, smiling sweetly. Sure, we can't really cook. Joshua laughs. Why don't you ask Tom? He's the cook, Michael says. He's busy. I'm sure whatever you guys cook will be good, I say to them. They go into the kitchen and start cooking who knows what. Breathe, Sam. You can do this, and nobody's going to get hurt. I get up and walk into the kitchen. How's it going? I ask them, trying to play cool. Good, Joshua says, concentrating on something. I look at Michael, who is stirring something. I notice the stove is on. I walk over me, grab a rag, and luckily the guys are too distracted to notice what I'm doing. I put the rag close enough to the stove. I walk over to the table and sit down. It smells good, I say. I just hope it tastes good, Joshua laughs. I look behind him and notice the rag is starting to catch on fire. And then it goes up in flames. What the? Joshua says, backing up. Crap! Michael screams. I'll go get Tom, I yell and run upstairs. I bang on his door. What? He says as he opens it. He sees a look on my face. What's wrong? He asks, worried. I look behind him and see his phone on his desk. The kitchen's on fire, I tell him in a panic. Stay here, he says, and runs downstairs. I quickly race over to his desk and grab his phone, and of course he has a lock on it. Does he have trust issues or what? I put in Joshua's birthday and it was right. I look through his text messages. He doesn't have his name programmed in the phone, only boss. Most of the texts are back and forth arguing about what to do with me. The guy wants answers, and Tom says I will talk soon. The boss guy says if something doesn't happen soon, then he wants to meet Tom and take me. I then see an address. I grab a pen and paper and write it down. It may be useful, and write down the boss's phone number. I notice the boss guy has threatened to kill Joshua if he doesn't get what he wants. I don't care that they did kidnap me. I don't want anything to happen to him. I keep scrolling and see Christopher's number. I write that down as well. I keep writing down things just in case. I make sure I didn't leave a trace and set the phone exactly how it was and run down to the kitchen. Okay, it's out, Tom says, putting the fire extinguisher down. Now, which idiot did this? He glares, looking at us three. It was an accident, sorry, Joshua says. Tom sighs. It's fine. Nobody's got hurt. Just leave the cooking to me or Cody, he tells them. Tom walks over to me. Are you okay? He whispers. I nod and give him a small smile. Pizza sounds good after all. I give them a weak smile. All right. I see you. All right. Chapter 25. Get a little sippy. She's really getting in there. Oh, she is. So now I'm kind of confused. Like, there are some times where Tom and Samantha, they're very intense, right? But then there's times where they act like kind of like brother and sister, kind of like bickering back and forth to each other. So I don't know if they're gonna have sex. Now it doesn't. The only way I can see them having sex at this point is to prove, like, they try to prove each other that they don't like each other, and then eventually it gets into that, or that he's drunk or something. That means he lets his guard down, and then they do stuff. But like willingly, at this point, willingly do stuff together? I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. Chapter 25. That was a waste of time. I got nothing. And I almost set the whole house on fire. But I did get two phone numbers and an address. Maybe if I can get Joshua's phone again and call Keith, I can tell him what I found. The guys all left to go do some kind of job. I had already snuck another knife from the kitchen before Tom hid them from me. I grabbed the knife from underneath the mattress. Oh, I used it and locked the door. I thought she was going to use the knife for something else. I go to Joshua's room and start going through his stuff, trying to find his cell phone. I finally found it in his dresser drawer. I put in Monica's number again. She's the only one of Keith's employees that I can trust. Hello, she greets. Monica, it's me again. Get Keith. I say quickly, not wanting to be on the phone for too long. Yes, of course, she says. I wait a minute or two. Samantha, are you okay? Keith says, worried. Yeah, I'm okay. How are you guys? I ask. Yeah, just worried about you, he sighs. Did you get any information about the boss guy? No, but we did find some of the moles, he says. Did you fire them? No, that would be too obvious. Smart, I say. I got some phone numbers, I tell him. Tell me what they are, he says. I give him the numbers and also the address. Let me know if you get anything from them. Also, I need information about a Christopher Gold, I tell them. Give me a minute, he says. I then hear a communion in the background. Communion? Commotion, not communion. What the frick? Is it her? Give me the phone. I hear Caroline's voice. Sammy! I hear her say. I can tell she's crying. Hey, Caroline, I say, holding back tears. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. Tell me where you are and I'm gonna come get you, she says. It's not your fault. I'm okay, I promise. It's kind of like a vacation, I laugh. Are they treating you okay? Yes, they actually treat me good, which is weird. I shake my head. These guys are all pretty hot, I laugh. She laughs too. I miss you, she says. I miss you too, and Keith and little Jeffrey. Dad's back, but call again as soon as you can. I promise, I tell her. Okay, Christopher Gold has been arrested multiple times, and I think he's the head guys in the inner circle. That's it, I sigh. That's all I have. I'm sorry. One more thing. Whatever this guy is planning, it's happening soon, so get ready. Okay, thanks for the heads up. I'll be in touch. Goodbye, Samantha, Keith says. Bye, Sam. I hear Caroline in the background. Bye, I whisper as I hang up the phone. I quickly delete any trace and put the phone back. I go back to my room and lock myself back in and put the knife back under the mattress. Hearing Caroline's voice makes me start bawling. I just want to protect her. I want to save someone. I hear the door unlock. Hey, we got Chinese food. I look up and see Tom. What's wrong? He asks, worried. Did someone do something to you? I see his hands in a fist. I shake my head because I can't talk. He walks over and sits on the bed next to me. I can tell he doesn't know what to do or say. I put my head on his shoulder. Oh, he's stuffiness. He stiffens up for a second, but then relaxes, and he puts his arm around me. I start crying. Shh. He keeps repeating, moving his hand up and down my arm, trying to soothe me. I'm sorry, I hear him whisper. Man, as this story goes, the grammar and the spelling just gets crazier. Friggin' heck. Friggin' heck. Let me just eat a little bit, and then we'll start again. So, the stories on this website are all the stories, or a majority of the stories like this, where the grammar and the spelling is off, or no? Because, man, it's going to bother me. Mostly because it's mostly used by preteens and teens plus adults. Ah! Oh, God. Okay. Okay. I have to keep that in mind. Okay, so from what I've noticed, like a recap of what we've read so far, it's been roughly about 10 chapters this stream. Though adult authors are sort of rare now, I think. Ah. I see. Well, there should be more. At least on this website. Just to help the grammar and stuff. And the spelling mistakes and whatever. Yeah, so this stream, a lot of this story seems to be like I said, that Christopher guy, so we know his name now. He seems to be like the ringleader of this, but he's kind of like behind the scenes a bit. So that's like the the crazy element of these guys. Otherwise, these other guys is like softies. And then obviously she's trying to get information about the boss and these guys in general, I guess, back to the mayor guy, Keith. So that's like been the past 10 chapters. But I really thought something was gonna happen. The way it was going, man, I'm telling you. Okay, chapter 26. I woke up to Tom next to me in the bed. He must have fell asleep. He's probably going to be mad at himself when he wakes up. I know this is creepy, but I look at him, really look. He's actually not that bad of a guy. He's really good looking, and he has some moments when he's not a pain in the ass. And when he smiles, it's kind of the smile that makes me smile. Maybe if we met under different circumstances, we could at least be friends. We are the same underneath. We just put up different fronts. He opens his eyes and we just stare at one another. Were you staring at me while I was sleeping? He says with a smirk, still half asleep. No, I smirk back. If you drew anything on my face, he mutters. So you won't like the big penis I drew on your cheek? I laugh. Ha 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 ha. I expected him to be mad. That he fell asleep in my bed. But he's actually in a good mood. I better go get dressed, he says, scratching the back of his neck. Okay, I nod. Oh, and Tom? I say before he walks out the door. Yeah? He looks at me. Thanks, I say, trying not to get red from embarrassment. I don't cry in front of anyone. You're welcome. He gives me a small smile. I quickly shower and get dressed, and I walk downstairs to the kitchen. Morning, boys, I greet them. Morning, Caroline, they greet back. Here's your coffee. Cody hands me a cup. Thank you, I tell him. You would think these guys work for me. So, how was your date, Cody? I ask him. Good, she's pretty awesome, he smiles. Aw, how cute. I can't wait to meet her, but we would have to make up a story because I think the whole kidnap thing would be a turnoff. I giggle. Ha ha ha, he smirks. Morning, Tom. Morning, Tom says as he walks to the kitchen. Morning, I smile at him. Are you guys ready? Tom asks them. Where are you guys going? I ask, confused. We just need to go run some errands, but Joshua's going to stay with you, Tom tells me. I'll see you guys later then, I wave. Bye, Caroline, Michael and Cody says as they leave. Call me if anything goes wrong, Tom tells Joshua. We will be fine, Joshua assures him. Tom nods. Bye, Caroline, Tom tells me. Bye, Tom. We smile at each other and then I watch him leave. It's just me and you today, I smirk. Oh, I think Joshua is I think Cody's the guy that, like, she was helping with the girlfriend, like the girl. But Joshua is, like, supposedly some, like, shy guy, I guess. Oh my god. Let's go. Chapter 27. So what do you want to do today? I ask him. Whatever you want to do, he smiles. I say like I'm thinking, why don't you go get that new video game that you've been dying to play and I'll watch you? No, it's okay. We don't have to. He shakes his head, but I know he's dying to play it. Joshua, go get the video game now, I tell him. He smiles. Yes, ma'am. He runs upstairs to get it. We both settle on the couch. I watch him play some game. He is so into this game that I could walk around naked and he would never notice. He keeps trying to explain the game to me. I keep nodding like I understand, but I have no idea what he's talking about. But it's cute seeing him trying to explain zombies to me. Hey, I'll be right back, I tell him. I know he can't even hear me. He's in this zone. I go upstairs to the bathroom. I use the restroom. And as I'm washing my hands, I have this weird feeling. I can't explain it. I hear a noise. It's faint. And then I hear it again. I shut off the water and walk into Tom's room since I can't see out the window in mine. I look through the window blinds and see someone that I really did not think I would see again. Christopher! And he's not alone. He has 5 guys with him and they are all armed. Crap! 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 Tom, where are you? I move away from the window and try to run downstairs to warn Joshua, but it's too late. Christopher and his gang broke down the door. They quickly grab Joshua. Where's the girl? Christopher screams. What girl? Joshua plays innocent. One of the guys looks up the staircase. There you are, he says in the creepiest voice imaginable. I gulp and run to Tom's room. That's the closest one to me. The guy's right behind me. I close the door quickly, but the guy is faster than me. He shoves the door open, making me fall to the ground. Hello, beautiful. He smiles creepily. I have two options here. One, I can kick him in the nuts and try to escape, but Joshua downstairs and who knows what they will do to him. And two, have them take me and get some information from them. I'm going with the stupidest option. I don't move. He grabs me by my hair and pulls me downstairs to the living room. This guy is so dead. Hello again, Caroline, Christopher says to me. Hey, a-hole, long time no see, I say sarcastically. Put her on the couch. He tells the other a-hole that's pulling my hair. He sets me on the couch. Next to me is Joshua tied up. I feel so bad. So, did you miss me? Christopher says, and before I can say a comeback, he slaps me. Still hit like a biatch, I see. I spat. He doesn't like that one bit, but I can tell he's trying to calm himself before he does something stupid. Now we are going to have a real talk, he tells me. Uh-oh. 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 It's going to get a little hairy now. We're on the tail end of these chapters. This is chapter 28. Chapter 30 will be the last one of the stream. So we're kind of on the tail end of this string of chapters. Things are going to get a little crazy here. Chapter 28. We should have done this sooner, but I had to wait until all the guys were away so we could talk in private. You really have those boys wrapped around your finger, especially Tom. Christopher laughs, shaking his head. I've also noticed that you've grown fond of them too, he smirks. He looks at his men and starts talking in Russian. Thankfully, that's one of the languages that I know. We need her to talk. Torture her if you have to, or even kill the boy if you think that will do it. I want answers, Christopher says to them in Russian. He looks back at me. We aren't leaving without some information. Tom, hurry up and come home. As you know, the man we all work for wants answers, and when he wants something, he gets it, no matter what. Like when he wanted to hurt your father, he knew exactly what to do. He took one of the things he loves most in his world, and that's you, Caroline. I don't say anything. He never intended for you to stay this long. He thought you would have cracked by now, but I guess you're stronger than what most people think. It doesn't help that you made the people who kidnapped you want to protect you. I have to admit, you're very good. The boss is actually impressed. He smirks at me. Again, I say nothing. Now tell me about the safe. He squats down so we're at eye level. I don't know what you're talking about, I tell him. That earns me a slap. I see Joshua next to me squirming, trying to get out of his restraints. Oh, I know you don't know anything about the safe, he laughs, but I'm confused even more now. You know, I couldn't wrap my head around how a girl who never leaves her house, who is sheltered, takes effing etiquette classes every day, could actually stand to be slapped in the face, for example, and not cry and manipulate these boys into doing whatever you want. I just don't understand. Do you? He looks at Joshua, who is giving him a dirty look. But I don't know if I like where this is heading. So I started going over all your files, relearning everything about you, and still, nothing was adding up. So I had my people before they were assigned to another job, which is weird, don't you think? He looks at me. Anyway, before one of them left, he snuck into the house, trying to see if he could find anything. And what do you think he found? He smirks at me, which makes me gulp. The real Caroline, he says. They know that she is not Caroline. Uh-oh. Now we have a problem. Everything was all fine and dandy when they didn't know. But now they know. But it's not even, she's getting nervous. It's not even the core guys that know. Tom and all those other ones. It's that like the outlier, the devil of the group, I guess. I wonder how the guys, Tom, Joshua, Cody, I'm wondering how those guys will react. I wonder if this guy, Christopher, will share this information with those other boys. I wonder. Actually, no, because Joshua's there. So Joshua, I think, overheard them that she's not the real Caroline. So Joshua is part of that group. So eventually they would know. Chapter 29. He knows. What do I do? I don't know what you're talking about. I lie, but I know he won't believe me. You actually look a lot like... you actually look a lot alike. He says, looking at me closely. I didn't even tell the boss yet, because I had to know the story from you first. It just sounds so juicy. I look over in the corner of my eye and see one of his little henchmen, biatches, move closer to us. The car is here, the little henchman biatch tells Christopher. Christopher sighs. Okay, I'll tell you this story when I see you next time, he tells him. I see the guy grab Joshua. What are you doing? I ask, frantic. Oh, well, we did warn Tom that this may happen, he shrugs. Don't touch him, I scream as the guy takes Joshua outside to the car. Tom's going to kill you, I glare at him. He laughs. Enough about your boyfriend, Tom. Let's finish the story. So tell us who you really are, because we know you're not the real Caroline. So who are you, and why would you want to act like you're her? He says, like he's confused. You really want to know who I am? I chuckle lightly. Christopher leans closer to me, ready to finally hear the story. I lean closer to him. I'm your worst nightmare, I say, then smile. He looks confused, but I don't give him time to think. I headbutt him as hard as I can, and then punch him in the nose, breaking it, which makes him fall to the ground. I step on his ankle and twist, breaking it. I grab the lamp next to me and chuck it at one of the guy's head. One of the guys hits me in the face. He's trying to do it again, and I block it easily. I see one of the guys grab their guns. I quickly grab his guy's arm and twist it behind his back, using him as a shield. The guy keeps shooting, but ends up shooting him instead. I shove the guy's dead body at him and kick the guy in the nuts, making him fall to the ground. I then grab his head and twist as hard as I can, breaking it. I look at one of the other guys. He has a knife in his hand, and I quickly kick it out of it, and run to the fireplace. What are you going to do, little girl? He mocks me. I grab one of the fireplace pokes and stab him quickly. One more of the henchmen's left. He pushes me to the wall and punches me in the stomach, making me fall to the ground. I kick his legs from underneath, making him fall to the ground. I get up quickly and push the TV on top of him, killing him as well. I see Christopher crawling away, trying to escape. I step in front of him and kick him in the face. Crazy biatch, he spits at me. Yeah, I am. I squat down and grab a handful of his hair and jerk his head up so we can look at each other. Now, where did they take Joshua? I ask him. Go to hell, he says. I sigh, I punch him again, knocking some teeth out. I've been there, and the devil spit me back out. I smile, and I can feel the old me slowly coming out. Now, I'm going to ask you again, and if you don't give me an answer, I will make your death a slow, painful one, I tell him. They took him to the boss. Just like they took the real Caroline there too, he smiles a toothless smile. Where is this place? I asked, trying not to get upset. After all this, they still took her. I don't even know. So you just have to kill me. I stand up and grab a gun off the floor. I shoot him 2 times in the head. I sit on the couch trying not to cry. They took Joshua and Caroline. What am I going to do? I hear the door open and hear the guys walk in laughing, and they're so silent. Caroline, why are there dead bodies everywhere? Michael asked me. Okay. So I'm supposed to believe that I think it was Christopher and 5 other guys. That's the gist of it. She said she looked out the window and saw Christopher and 5 other guys. So you're telling me a girl, 21-year-old girl, I don't know if she's a sassy girl, so her personality's sassy. I don't know if she's little, like, I forgot, like, I don't know if, like, the writer mentioned, like, her size or anything like that. Maybe yes, maybe no, I forgot. But I just know that she's a sassy girl. And supposedly in her past, she has been, like, in aggressive situations. But she kind of left that to the past. But there is no way one girl, 21-year-old girl, would take out this guy, Christopher, who's like a maniac or whatever, and then 5 of his quote-unquote henchmen. I don't know, like... Now, okay, so now it's starting to be like comedy. Because it's like these guys are saying, I know, like, bro, there's, like, it started off, like, literally in the same chapter, 29. If you go back to chapter 29, the last chapter, the previous one, it literally starts off with them kind of, like, interrogating her, I guess, and then all of a sudden, everyone's dead. What the heck? In one chapter. You know how long it took us to get to this point? And that, like, what the heck? I want to meet this writer and, like, I want to interview this author. What in the world are you thinking, girl? Okay, last chapter. So remember how I said, like, things were getting, like, sexual and all this stuff? Now I don't know what to think. In one chapter, it swiftly changed over to, like, a weird, like... I don't know what to say. Chapter 30. It's all over the place. I don't know. This is my first story that I've read. Okay, so... You've like, just listened to these chapters of this story, right? Of all the things that you've read from this website, how would you rate this story in, like... Is it like a usual, like a common theme of how everything's kind of, like, is? Or this is like a weird one? Like, what? Because I really want to, like, I really want to keep going with this. I'm having fun with this. But it's just so, like, it just did, like, a big U-turn. Like, I don't know. I'm just wondering how other ones are. Because I don't know what to think. I'm literally... It's common, though. The stories I read are, like, more good, I guess. Okay. Okay. Well, literally, I just look at stuff randomly. So, I was going to ask you, like, what... I think I did ask you previously, like, hey, can you, like, recommend something, or what should I look for, or whatever. I think I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. Because I guess maybe it might be more funny this way, where I'm finding these stuff, I'm like, what the hell is this? Whereas if you, like, guided me and you told me, like in fanfiction.net, they write some... Fanfiction.net. Okay, well, in all seriousness, though, in all seriousness, um, I don't have to pull all the stories from here. I could pull from that website too. But I mean, okay. But I'm looking, yeah. Okay, so anyways, okay, so let's finish this off. This is chapter 30. Let's finish this off, and then we'll end it. Okay, chapter 30. The party got out of control. I mumbled, not knowing what to say. Tom walks over to me on the couch and trying not to trip over the dead bodies. They are being very calm, almost acting like this happens all the time. But that would explain some of the stains. Are you okay? Tom asked me, grabbing my face softly with his hands. This would be a very sweet moment if I wasn't dreading what's going to happen next. Where's Joshua? Tom starts looking around. Tom, I say quietly and close my eyes, not wanting to tell him. Where is he, Caroline? I see he's trying to control his anger, and I see him looking at each body, making sure none of them are Joshua. They took him, I say softly. I couldn't protect him either. Who did? Cody asks. One of Christopher's men, I say. Wait, isn't this Christopher? Michael says, looking at his dead body. Yep. I try not to smirk. That son of a biatch, Tom says, punching the wall, leaving a hole. I'm going to kill him. Right behind you, I mutter. Wait a second, Cody says, confused, and we all look at him. Who killed these guys? Because we know it couldn't have been Joshua. He can barely open the pickle jar. Caroline, who did this? Tom asked me. The moment of truth, do I lie like I always do? Or do I actually tell the truth for once? We all need to talk, I tell them. Let's go to the kitchen where there is not any dead body decomposing. We walk into the kitchen and all sit at the table. They just stare at me, waiting for me to talk. So how did your job go today? I nervously smile. Caroline, Tom says in a warning tone. I take a deep breath. I just hope they don't try to kill me after this. My name's not Caroline, I say, and I look at them, but they look confused. What do you mean your name's not Caroline? Michael says, laughing a little. I feel like I'm in therapy and about to spill my guts out. I'm not Caroline. Caroline's actually my best friend. That's not possible. We did our research and you fit the description, Cody says slowly. Not very well, I say under my breath. Okay, let me start from the beginning. Please do, Michael says. I look at Tom and I can't read his expression, but I know he's not happy with me. For almost a year, I have been living with the mayor and his family. I actually have gotten very close to them. And at the party, me and Caroline thought it would be fun to be each other, so she could talk to people without them only talking to her because of her father. And so I pretended to be her that night. And when you kidnapped me, I just kept doing it. I say, hoping I'm making sense. Why would you keep pretending? Cody says, like I'm crazy, and I don't blame him. Because she's my best friend, and I didn't want you to hurt her. So this whole time, you've been lying about everything? Tom says, with his jaw clenched. I nod. So who killed the guys in the living room? Michael asks me. I kind of did. And you might want to get a new rug, I say. There's no way you could have done that by yourself. Cody shakes his head. I did. They were going to kill me. They all look at me, shocked that I could kill someone. How? Michael asked me, almost a little impressed. I had a rough childhood. I shrug. Where did they take Josh? Tom says, glaring at me. I don't know. He wouldn't tell me. I point at Christopher on the ground. They took Caroline too. I close my eyes, taking a deep breath. Now that you guys know the truth, let's stop sitting on our butts and go find them, I tell them. They all look at me in shock, not expecting that. It's like they're essentially asking her, how did you do that? I had a rough childhood. So the moral of the story is, if any of you guys have had a rough childhood, you most likely can take on 5 or 6 attackers. Oh my god. Yeah, this story This story just, oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Prig. I just don't know. Anyways, okay, we're gonna end it here. I might come back after because I wanted to do another mini world stream. But I definitely want to get this story out. Like I said, we've done chapters 60 to 30. I don't know when I'm gonna do chapters 31 to 45, but it will be relatively soon. So yeah, I'll post in Discord or something or let you guys know. But yeah, I did not expect this. This is crazy. All right, thanks Nova and whoever else is here. I appreciate you guys for being here. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. All right.